Thank you for waiting, everyone. Back with VCT Ascension Americas, where we left off. M80, it was a slow start to the day, down 2 maps, able to close it out on Sunset to bring us 1-2 in map score in this best of 5 in the lower bracket. I mean, Chen, it was looking a little scary for a while. The first 2 maps did not inspire a lot of confidence, but M80, they seem to woke up.
Yeah, I was running out of cope a little bit when we were going towards Sunset, which has been a pain point. But before we went to Sunset, we said that All Knights took a heavy hit, 13-4 yesterday in their match, and M80 coming off of a win. But really, I want to zoom in on the Dante story. His survivability went down a lot in the second half. Finally, the kryptonite. M80 found how to stop this Neon. Dante went from a nearly kind of even KD in the first half to a triple negative in the second. M80 figured out how to stop the Neon, and it was less about like a Cypher, a Sentinel, but rather how flash heavy M80 gets, committing more numbers to guaranteeing favorable trades. So if Dante pops off, you overwhelm him. Nismo and BCJ had a combined like 26 assists and involved in most of the kills. So it really took a united effort out of M80 to stop Dante.
That's the thing, shutting down Dante. But even when AK were even playing a defensive side, it was actually the first time you got desperate after a timeout and brought an op on a defensive side for the first time for Dante in this tournament in itself, and he wasn't getting good value out of it. It had to be the supporting cast around like Adverso to be able to string some rounds over on their side. And finally, in true NA fashion as a fan, you're starting to see M80 show life, and then AK's catching up. But it came down to finally a thrifty round where BCJ got a 3K, which finally allowed for us to get a little bit more economy for M80, and then it was M80's show. If you just focus on the defensive side, Xander went 3-0, Koala Noob went 3-0, and Nismo went 2-0 just in first bloods and first deaths alone, which then means that they had full control of any spots they were watching, and you saw it from the aggressive position that they were doing, the bait and switch that were being positioned as well for M80 on the defensive side, to finally see them close it out and give ourselves a chance here to see M80 potentially push this into a 5th map.
I mean, Sierra, you said it didn't start off well, but Xander popped off. We said he picks and chooses his moments to shine. And I think the 30 bomb is surely that, along with the amount of first bloods, 15 for M80. But we look towards Icebox, and this is favorable for M80 again.
Yeah, last time these 2 faces, we head into our Blacklight Agent Select. It was a double OT. We'll have to see if All Knights, they can close that out. M80, map 5, back over to our casters for Icebox.
Thank you very much, gang. Succinctly put, now, of course, Icebox comes up as our 4th map in this series. Ones in which All Knights have that interesting element of involving the ISO here. But this has to be a map where you feel good about M80 in general. One of their best of the course of the year, but we said that about Haven, and that went very differently. So, M80 on the attack side here was straight into it, with Dante taking a pretty forward position early.
At the very least, though, this is, and frankly, not even at the very least, maybe at the very most, this is a M80 after that mental bounce back that we've gotten to see. They were so out of sorts, but I feel like they're kind of writing everything that happened off on the first 2 maps, and it's all about this now. I was worried for a second to see how it was getting so close. Koala Noob pressed up forward as well, and Versal just swings that.
Weird. This is bizarre. Nismo finding 2, I think, is huge. All Knights try and go for a very far forward play, but they did get spotted out. As they pushed out the 2 plays inside, I think BCJ got a shoulder pick on them. This looks a little bit messy now on the AK side, and M80 don't even have to plant here. They get to the B side, and the round's already done.
I think if you were to show someone that round and take the mini-map away, they wouldn't be able to figure out which team was on attack or defense, if I'm being honest. It's just, everyone was just pushed up, fighting. All right, I mean, there was a bit of a delay, perhaps more of a momentum killer for All Knights. They come into this straight off the bat, lose a round in an odd fashion on a map that they don't particularly favor, that they've already lost to M80. This is certainly a good chance for M80 to even things up 2-2 as far as the maps go.
I mean, they're trying to ban this map a lot of the time against M80. They obviously prefer not to play it when they can. Not an option in a series like this one, though. And again, like we kind of mentioned coming to the break, they're out of Neon maps. There are no more left in the pool. Abyss is the decider of this series, and obviously this is an Icebox where You're not looking to do that in general. So we're going to jump back in just a moment here, but I've got to say, that last map, a big recovery for M80. Xander was 5-0, QualNoob 8-0 in first kill, first death. That early round action was so good for M80. Let's see if that holds.
Press up close yet again. Paranoia is great at dealing with these players at 410.
Here they come. Adverso, the only one to really draw blood here for All Knights, and even he is cut short. Tinchoff is thinking, well, probably been in this situation hundreds of times before. Likely looking to get close enough. The spike detonation would take him down without giving over an ultimate orb. But that actually won't be an easy matter.
Maybe just for the sake of some true poetry, he'll survive with the classic trying to kill Nismo here and failing.
That would be a big problem. Nismo spots him out. All right, gets his revenge. Tinchoff is taken down, and that will be the round done. M80, a pretty strong pistol despite a bizarre defensive push-up from All Knights. We're going to have our eyes peeled to see how they find value from this ISO pick, which is a pretty unique one.
I was going to point out before that Paranoia came out and M80 really just dealt with that stack that they are trying to get the orbs to the ISO. Dante picked it up there. They did that prior in their match against M80. The first match they played in this tournament. Really putting an emphasis on that. Putting an emphasis on getting Dante in a situation where he just gets to 1v1 his opponents. And it definitely makes sense. That is where the man thrives.
I would say last time we saw this map, though, All Knights were able to win the pistol and get 4 rounds early and end up with like an 8-round defense half. That was what kind of made the map so close. It was where Adverso almost dropped 30 at the end of it. Dante didn't exactly pop off on the ISO. I just don't think, he's the kind of player that's mechanically so good enough to go for that movement. Really a thing you can do with ISO. And have M80 though pushing up here on this B site. And already that null command available on round 3, no less. Thanks to Nismo's involvement in so many of these fights early on. Leads the defenders without many options.
Oh, and net on the late backstab. Bonus round looks like it's going to be converted. Inevitably, the shield is broken. Dante can't cycle for the second.
Need down to 2.
And it's over. They're on the run. Net on the hunt. Why not? Celez the Bulldog has the cash in the bank. This M80 economy is going to be out of control already. We're just 3 rounds in. They've barely lost a player. Net swinging for that one. The hits that M80 can do, though, with this double controller comp with the Viper and the Omen are so cool. Wow, how did QualNoob already get here? Look at this pressure. That's huge. They are ruthless. That is All Knights-esque ruthlessness, Mitch.
And I think it's worth, going back to that double controller idea, because the Omen inclusion gives them a lot of really rude one-ways that they can, use over at the A site. And also just like being able to drop a dark cover down to Snowman, it sort of just, makes up for that period of time where the Viper wall is down. So once you're out of that B site, it's pretty hard to get back in, without just straight up swinging a smoke. And the layering of that utility is what kind of makes this double controller composition so powerful. And there are teams that try it with Harbor, right? Obviously, the Omen with that extra mobility, allowing QualNoob to play from some odd locations, especially if he ever wants to go for an op. He can play yellow, for example. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and they love to use this dark cover here in main just to obscure that common angle from back yellow, where on a round like this, maybe someone on All Knights would have a Marshal and one of the longer range weapons just allow for an easier take of main. Patience is the game for M80, though. Dizzy over top, and Sabando forced back off the angle, at least temporarily, maybe hungry for a repeak.
9 frags for him. He's on the board now on Icebox. Make it a second there as well. Doing the dirty with the Sheriff.
What?
You better hope that's enough. Net now looking to test Nico's metal. And comes out on top. So we have ourselves a 2v2. We're still a healthy 45 seconds left, but Net really spotted Dante there through mid. It's unclear, but he will link up now with QualNoob, and they will have a crack at this. They still at least have a controller. So they're going to have the dark cover to get them up on this side relatively safely. They can throw one up to, Nest and towards Snowman and get in here.
They're taking their time, staying very quiet in this situation. Adverso is working his way over. Does have a couple shock darts, maybe get some damage through Dante. Full kit as well.
Timing.
You can do that little combo, perhaps. Doesn't even matter. Verso just catches the timing. Net was worried about B main, and now he's left alone.
Okay, so posthumously, at least he can work with that smoke from Koala Noob. Still has a much better weapon. Keep that in mind. Also, there's a turret here he can deploy, should he choose to, but no time for that, apparently. Here come All Knights. Oh, there it is. The shield on Verso lets him shrug off that hit. And they overwhelm.
That is purely the shield winning that out. I mean, maybe the trade comes in afterwards anyhow, right? But, I mean, that double tap, at the very least, saved Dante's life. But that is just purely Sabando. He's just swinging around, taking the duels, hitting one-taps. Just
This guy is nutty.
peeks out. The 0 point connected onto him, too. The 0 point is crucial for getting that info on a player back yellow if they are there. Oh, and he was there. He definitely made his presence known back yellow. They just could not shut him down. It looked like M80 were about to just run away with the first portion of this game after converting that bonus, retaining so many weapons. Obviously, they've still got enough for a bye, but All Knights could have been in serious trouble already on Icebox.
Koala Noob got funneled out here pretty far forward, but is able to win it out against Verso. Dizzy dealt with, and Nico Machine's forced off the angle now. But can play from all behind pipes. Xander gets the drop on him. That is some fast play from the Viper. Ended up being a 1-for-1, but you take those every day of the week for M80. A one-tap shield does very little for Dante Deus there. This one is basically cooked as is. A lot of early action in these Icebox rounds. And M80 still being very diligent on how they approach this.
Nismo said, give me that spike. I'm getting every kill in the server. I'm about to have my second null command already. He is getting a really close. And you know, I think one of the reasons sometimes we kind of look at Nismo in terms of the firepower and the fragging on this team now in its current form, he's become a bit more of an afterthought because they don't have him playing as much of that flex role where he's on the raise and he's having that impact in the server. Icebox, though, that's a nice free kill, is the map where Nismo individually still has that kind of pop-off ability. You know, they don't have a duelist that he's always trying to support. There are set plays that they have with pop flashes that he's throwing for Koala Noob off of a teleport, but a lot of times it is Nismo fighting forward, flashing for himself, and taking those duels. And he is a really, really strong aimer. And he's been one of the best NA Challengers players for 2 years. And this tournament, he's been relatively quiet, but if there was an agent and a map for him to really stand out, it will be Icebox.
So far, he's looked good. Attack pause here definitely required for AK, and it feels like after that Sunset map, that momentum, that fire, that impetus has largely dissipated for All Knights, and that's the reality of Valorant at this level. It's a best-of-5 series. And they should not be any strangers to this, because this is exactly what happened against Reta in their regional finals, that upper bracket game that forced them to have to go through lowers to make it, which was also a 5-map affair, by the way. All Knights are familiar with these long series, but M80, those are the kind of fires that they're forged in. And the map pool, I mean, maybe like Abyss is the wild card, I guess, coming up as our decider, but they need to run Sunset, finding success there, finding momentum, finding Xander just tearing heads off, and then getting to go to Icebox is a good way for M80 to build that late series run of their own.
Yeah, it really is funny to look at like just how analogous this game might be, could be, if M80 run it back to that regional game against Reta to qualify, where All Knights win the maps where they've got the neon and lose the maps where they don't. And M80 may have just done the impossible, which is besting All Knights where they've got the neon. Yeah, just survive, just barely, just make it to the maps where Dante can't own the server every round.
So you want the winner of this game to turn around tomorrow and play the final.
I know. Slow contact into A, spike going down. Be a wingman. 5 versus 5.
Here's Net. Here we go. That's what Dante is in the server for. And that's why he's on the ISO. Kill contract completed. M80 now down to only 4 players. Ninka Machine sending the thrash in and might have found BCJ there on the side. I think so. But Dante was still taken down by the mosh pit. BCJ able to amble away. Savano has to come into the side now to try and find his kill, and he gets it. Verso as well from Rafters with the Guardian. Koala Noob though, what a timing to find on Savando. And Verso in no position to use that Hunter's Fury. And that's an ISO ult round that M80 recover from.
I mean, Koala just tears them apart there. That gets his 10th on the board. It does 10 for 1. Nismo 9 for 2. Another map where the M80 core are the ones that are really doing the heavy lifting in terms of finding the kills. And now Nismo, due to all those, 1 orb away, will have the null command now for the gun round.
That is huge.
That is how you carry the momentum.
He had it in what, round 3, I want to say?
Yeah, it was on their bonus round. It won them their bonus.
Now easy enough to build a tier 2. M80, post up in mid. Okay, they're obviously searching for a Killjoy turret set up in mid. Here's the Hunter's Fury straight down the gullet. And Verso, though, it's nothing for it.
Just rolls the dice and they come up short. Not a piece of damage even.
And this is the spot you have to start expecting if you're up against an Omen here, especially an Omen moonlighting as a duelist. Turret now thrown later in mid. Tinchoff just working around the early util thrown boiler to blow it up. It's going to be an interesting little situation if someone breaks character and makes sound. Oh, Koala Noob is waiting for this push-up.
Just desperately wants to cut these rotates off. I mean, in the meantime, though, the tension here, but there's even more tension on the A site. They're about to walk into 3 players holding close 410. They don't have a paranoia to disrupt it, M80.
What?
30 seconds left.
Here's the breaking point. Koala Noob, I think, sees Titch. What? No, he doesn't. He actually doesn't know that Tinchoff is behind him. Oh, hands to head. He's got to be mad about that one, but there's still fighting to be done over at the A site now. Okay. Dante just gets ripped as he tries to wrap that corner.
Spike planted.
And there it is. Null command popped out, as well as the Viper's Pit. Big investment here for M80 to secure this gun round. And I think you better believe they've got this locked up. 3 versus 1. Tinchoff, an unlikely scenario that has him emerge victorious in mid, still puts him up against unbeatable odds.
Just simply has to save. Has to. And now again, the ult economy for M80 has been so strong. It was so strong on Sunset, earned them a number of rounds, those dimensional drifts, the thrashes from BCJ, and here already, 2 null commands, each one, round 1. Xander with the pit, BCJ with the thrash next round. That's an ult to open it and an ult to close it.
We've got to talk about the elephant in the room here. That was a lockdown round for Tinchoff.
I mean, yeah, lockdown risked in a 2v3 that didn't even get to go off. It was broken by the molly.
Exactly. That hurts. And that is M80 meeting All Knights at their theoretical peak in that kind of round, right? Able to shut them down. I mean, the Hunter's Fury found nothing. The lockdown found nothing. And M80 said, we'll spend ultimates here to shut this gun round down quite happily. Keep building that economy. And they have a thrash up now.
An immediate dizzy from BCJ just to get information on some of that early presence. It is shot down. M80 taking their time over towards B main, where All Knights for the first time are getting a bit more adventurous, pushing down so deep. First time since the pistol. Xander on the angle. Does Zabando want to tempt fate here?
Xander, not quick enough off the starter's block apparently. He will be eaten up, and Tinchoff gets involved. That's perfect for All Knights on a weaker buy round, making sure they trade every one of those and they trade up. Happy to give a bit of round, of course. Tinchoff is now M80 moving up. They do not have Viper's Pit available. They do not have any Omen smokes either. Both their controllers are down because of what happened at the start of the round, and they are, for all intents and purposes, utterly exposed on the map.
Here's more.
I mean, they pushed up, and they pushed up close into the Stingers, the range where they're going to thrive. That NPCJ, they've got a fair bit of utility trying to get the mollies down. They need to find a kill. Net swings out for it, but even long range, just couldn't find it. And Tinchoff with his 3rd for the round. That push down B main. Sabando winning that initial duel against Xander. Just the aggression, the controlling of the space.
Well, thanks for the guns, boys. Not a round for M80 to hang their hats on at all. But a healthy lead build up here. And still able to buy, of course. I think they ended that round with a minimum 3.5K. Nismo was at 8.7, so fret not about the economy. And that is just all nice, just doing what they do best.
I mean, frankly, it was rounds like those that were the issue on Sunset as well. Their attack half, M80's attack half, would have been a blowout had it not been for a couple eco round losses that kept it way closer than it could have been. They can't let that get out of control. They've got the game in his hands right now. They trade that out.
Cool. All Knights can't make anything happen off the back of that like they did in the previous round. So that 4v4. But still no Viper Ball to play with. Here's the kill contract. You're up, Unk. Lock in. Oh, that's what we'd like to see. Nismo wins it out. And across the stage he yells. But of course he emerges in a really exposed position out of that kill contract. One in which M80 weren't really ready to cover. So Adverso just gets a freebie.
Someone got detained. They were outside it. They were trying to play outside of the range of it, and they just stepped into it. So now, more time wasted for All Knights for no reason at all.
Gotta go for this at some point. There's the trade again. Tinchoff makes the swing out. Needs to get a tickle on this. Oh, my goodness! The stopping power of Adverso. Like a Mack truck.
How cold is this guy?
You failed.
His crosshair placement is always perfect, but it's just the reactions on it. How many times have we seen him in a situation just like that? Stood still, crosshair, pointed where it needs to be. The second someone goes into it, it's like he's got the bot activated. How many times did he do that back on Lotus as well? I mean, this guy, man, so impressive. So impressive.
And that's definitely going to be an attack pause here. Now for M80. Probably can cobble together a buy round here. No worries about that. But if they've cycled through a lot of their ultimates, they used a Thrash a couple of rounds ago. That one didn't really get them much. And even though they sort of wandered into lockdown there, lost a lot of time, they kind of get away with murder there, literally. I mean, that's a gambit to go for that defuse and just to hold your ground against what would certainly be a double swing. And the quality of this All Knights team goes deep. Every single individual able just to go hog wild, and that from Adverso a 4K. I mean, I'll pay the kill on Nismo. In theory, like you want someone from M80 to trade him off as he gets
you get out of that ISO wall pretty fast. You still have to be quick to get the shot, honestly. You get out of that thing and you can just skate to the right out of harm's way. So, Nismo, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I think you might have been able to get out of that.
He didn't yell?
If he was a little distracted yelling. I mean, listen, I might be wrong. Maybe Adverso might just be that fast, and I believe it, but Nismo was a little distracted, talking that talk across the stage to Dante.
Fair enough. You know, we mentioned it, Nismo with a little bit of a quiet tournament in general. We get opportunities to demonstrate his ability now, especially on a map like this. Crucial as it is. This is still AK on series point. Let us not forget. Here. Kamluku Savano on the corner. One is enough, apparently. That's all that BCJ would tolerate. Verso wants to step up, and Tinchoff here can put together a bit of a pinch. Nismo's good positioning, though, so he at least can trade that off. But now it's an isolation of BCJ, who just holds his ground. Big Cole Johnson back in business.
Yeah, this round from M80 has just done a great job at creating so much stress on the defenders, trying to figure out where they're actually getting botted from. They were able to get so much space into Kitchen, and then Nismo is just positioned to deal with the players who need to deal with Kitchen. It's a really cool setup to take this site, and now Dante, Nico Machine with the AWP 2 versus 3. Look at how much they have to clear.
Oh, it was Nico, rather. Oh, cool, man. Walks into that snowman setup. Now, it's a long way for Thrash to walk here, but notice the plant locations. Very exposed for Dante Deus, who says, I don't know about this one. Double tap no longer available. Man, he's going to call it for the round. We'll be handing M80 their 7th attack side round here. Nismo again. In this economy, ACJ is going to get involved and get rid of the ISO.
All good. That is a very cool round from M80, though, just creating such confusion for the defenders, making them have to be forced to reposition to pick up all of these angles towards Kitchen, exposing themselves in mid, and then Inverso feels like he has to re-clear. And then by the time the spike is down, Nico Machine has to clear 47 angles to get over there. It's a good round from M80 after a couple lost, one of them being that initial eco.
Is your round left. Valorant would be pinged out there. Nice little recon. Also shows his destination, although that should have been obvious. So he has to give up that posting in mid. Didn't have an operator, in fairness, and that Thrash is still being held onto by M80. They did not need to rely on it last round. Inverso, though, is back with that Soverall.
M80 just throwing that standard dark cover towards B main, showing a bit of that presence. And if All Knights don't re-clear it, well, as far as they know, M80 could be pressed up close. They could be waiting to push towards yellow, but that's not the case. They're working back towards A, where that's utility, the turret, right there, where he's been containing. He has been spotted, and I mean, look at the top of the minimap. The herd of All Knights players making their way towards fortifying that A site where Dante is lying in wait, in danger of getting caught by the Thrash.
And looks like he lands. Nico Machine going to be detained here. Zed has been able to move up now, and M80 can enact their master plan. Full flash is Dante Deus, but Inverso gets there. He's at rafters. Wingman plant though now as Xander shows and sets up that double swing. It's now just M80 exercising their numbers advantage, and Tinchoff has to come from the rear. Won't be spotted out by this, of course. KJ off the map, so no early detection. This is going to require M80 to look in two different directions. Can Tinchoff be the savior? He was going to walk into a held line that Nismo can swing off of here. If he sneaks past 410 that way, it was pretty cheeky. But BCJ gets him there. 8 rounds now for M80.
Whether it be attack
Last
or defense,
in the half.
overarching M80 play on the A site is always phenomenal. Look at that
Yeah, the
second
protocols for
layer.
moving up past that defensive Viper wall is just very good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to get at. Like that initial thrash, but then the second layer of utility, that Dizzy coming back site. Dante is there posted up, ready to anchor. He has teammates as well, but they cannot do a damn thing. The scaling off of that is just always perfect, and M80 are just as good as when it comes to taking the site back when they're on defense. Nico Machine recovers that orb. He has some thrash available. This is the last round of the half, the last opportunity he'll have to use it, so has to make sure he extracts every bit of value from it that he can. Same for Adverso with that Hunter's Fury. And Nismo can just stop it all with his null command.
And there it is, going to force AK back instantly. Dante Deus flash, as has been expected. Now we actually have a bit of a split here on towards A. This is scary. Obviously that retake wall will obscure Net and Xander until the curtain comes down, but it's on the attackers instead that it falls. Nismo pushing off here. Maybe a slight overheat. They have a plan already, and I like this fallback from Nismo. He will have some backup here, but the swing from Tinchoff would have been dangerous. He just gives him ground. This will allow Thrash, though, to move in and occupy. We actually had a player go up to Nest here as Nismo trying to get out desperately. Ducking, dodging, diving. There'll be Tinchoff to bring him down. Hunter Fury still up here for Adverso as well. Lockdown comes in from the defenders. It's going to be hard to play into this. And BCJ has nothing to look at. Stop the defuse there. But bound to be detained if he's not quick. And he gets out. Now Koala Noob has an opportunity to intervene now in this post-plant. Tinchoff trying to run in front of it. But the spike defuse has been taken down. Unreal! M80 forced off of A. And still interrupt the defuse.
All Knights just couldn't win the duels. They couldn't get a moment to get the spike there to half either. There was just no time pressure really being applied to M80, despite them having to run all the way back to Belt from the lockdown. BCJ, really though, credit to him, heads up for staying in.
He shot the wingman.
Yeah, breaking that wingman and then getting out. He had just enough time to get out too. That is so well played. One of the most experienced players in this tournament, period. Nismo, that adjustment, he open-faced so many angles, should have really gone down. And then just adjusts onto the guy onto the railing. I mean, come on. He's 17 for 5. This is the map where he can take over, where he's not just going to be playing the breach, sending out fault lines and flashes for everyone else. So he will throw those flashes for his teammates when he needs to. He'll do his job. But a lot of his job is to also really enable himself, and he's been doing just that. I don't even think attack is the better side for M80 on this map. I think they're better on defense, so this is tough goings for All Knights.
Maybe a change of the wind here. Coming out of a pretty insane showing, of course, on Sunset to take that map away. Looking nothing short of dominant on Icebox, which for NA Challengers viewers is par for the course, really. But last time these two teams went head-to-head, this went way differently. All Knight's got 8 rounds on the defense side. We're able to pivot off of that into what ended up being a very close overtime play, but now they find themselves hardly in the game at all. I've got to say, like, Nismo's looked incredible. I think being able to build up so many of these null commands, really snowballing his, kill contributions into being able to shut down this defensive util, combined with the great clearing protocols that M80 have shown, especially on that A site. It's been pretty overwhelming.
This is just the home map of M80. Despite the fact that they don't always really pick into it, they have only ever lost this map since forming this team twice. They've won it 14 times in officials. And that entire time, they have never ran a duelist. Not once. They have just been playing these no duelist looks, and it's always worked for them. It continues to work. And so much of that is because of the Nismo Koala Noob aggression that they have in tandem. Those pseudo-duelist roles that they've got.
Tech pause here. I wonder what that was. I saw Nismo throw his hands up and actually bang them into his monitor. So I don't think that was him, but I could just invent reasons for tech pauses here.
HDMI cable went flying.
Yep. I mean, net got sucked into his monitor like the Ring.
Oh, God. I don't even... That movie did damage to me as a child.
Emotional damage.
No. That movie, I can't... Listen, I've tried to go and watch that as an adult to just expunge the inner demons, and I still can't do it. That movie, that took a couple years off my life.
For me, it was sore. I wasn't able to swim over a pool drain for years. I don't know, I just couldn't
for
do
a
it.
Pool drain? Because
Yes.
the key got sucked into it?
I think, doesn't someone get sucked into a pool drain? I think in one of the Saw movies. Chat can confirm for us.
Oh, were you saying
Whatever it was
one of the crazy later ones? I thought that there was a key for him to get out of the tub, and it went down the drain, and that's how he got stuck in the basement.
I mean, it might have been.
Spoilers. Spoilers for a movie that came out. I think spoilers for a movie that I think came out 20 years ago because my local theater was running a Saw 20th.
Honestly, it was like 4 years max.
Yes. Me when I'm old.
Blurry memories. Watching them through the fingers plastered to my face, so I don't see a whole lot of it. But obviously, folks, we did have a tech pause obviously coming into this map. That was a network-related issue, so we obviously have every nerd in Monterey on call up, ready to just jump in and solve this problem.
The Best Buy Geek Squad, they are on the way.
Yeah, the winner obviously winning the honor of being Boostio's footstool in next season of VCT. So, hopefully a lot of people, a lot of people looking to get involved.
What?
I've even been told that he'll insult you as well. So,
wow,
yeah. It's a great opportunity for those that would be interested.
Pay big money for that. There's a reason they call them pay pigs. There's a reason Boostio always calls everyone pigs. I'll tell you that, buddy.
All coming together.
There's a reason.
Farm to table insights there.
Let's get back into the game. Let's get back into the game.
Slowly, I'm entreating Wyatt to just to forsake his sanity. Also, someone obviously, big shout out to the person in the chat who asked if that was a Saint Vicious. Sat behind the monitor. Apparently, all follicularly challenged people look the same, but no, that's Nismo, an absolute mainstay of the North American scene.
Classic joke. Who's that? Sideshow?
Exactly.
Is that Durka?
Sassy. I mean, yeah, everything looks like Sassy. Obviously, after that sad news.
How good could an all bald team be, really? Because that's a great trio to start with. Like, Durka, Nismo, and Saucy? Huh?
I swear people have 100% done this. I reckon that I've seen Reddit threads about like the best bald theme that you could create.
And then your coaches would be Imi and Sideshow.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
And
I remember working with Josh when he had hair. I feel like the more hair he's lost, the better he's got. I feel like, yeah, his cranium
Before
is just
Saw
like
came out.
way. I don't even call back him here in the pistol. And it was M80 all grouped up to take this fight here. It ends up being a 1-for-1, but BCJ stays in jail, and there he will rot, apparently. King Josh able to get forward now, and this is good pace here for All Knights. We're ready to take these early fights.
Now it is just the aforementioned bald man in the backside. 17 for 5, make that 18 for 5. That's a nice little tap. Xander trying to pick up the angle. A couple weak players as well.
How quick do they cotton onto this? Pretty fast by the looks. Is it a pump fake? Yeah, it is.
Right.
And AK turned back around after telegraphing a rotation to B. Most aerodynamic team ever.
M80, they have to take a long, sad stroll back to the A site here in a moment.
That's it. So big shout out to chat for keeping company here.
30 seconds left.
See the support from M80's family members and arguably
Spike planted.
help them get back into this game here. Nismo at 18 and 5. Now comes back into the side where AK have just pulled right on back. The eyes on the two people. Flank, one playing from Belt, of course. The Verso's up there. We spotted out by the turret straight away. So Xander might... Yeah, I love that. Using above that. Okay, Shock though will tickle him. That wall though isn't going to be up forever. Xander's running out of time, and Tinchoff eventually throws his crosshair high enough. It's got to half here, but there's not a lot of time left for Nismo. Can he be that guy? Only him pronouns. No, Nismo caught around the corner there by Adverso, able to step up. I do like the rope tech from Xander, but it was just too much of an advantage for AK in that round.
Yeah, it was a good effort getting it to half even, just so those peaks would be forced out when Nismo was trying to fight while defusing himself, but nicely done from All Knights, slowing things down, getting back into that free site, taking their time, not going into what was a dangerous crossfire, even though they were in the 3 versus 2. A healthy Xander and Nismo could have really done some damage had they overcommitted, overextended into the site on that prior attempt. So the game's not over just yet. All classics for M80. And some decent weaponry in the hands of All Knights, aside from Tinchoff, who of course will just be with the Sheriff. Typically the Ghost, but he's opted for the Sheriff.
Bit more money to work with. Here come All Knights now. They're going to get contact probably a little earlier than they otherwise would expect off this Paranoia. There's the swing. Paranoia could come in soon after Xander. Trying to isolate here. VCT would have been spotted out by that recon bolt. Tabano has to respect, though, that mosh pit. A lot of damage. A lot of damage here on AK, but they have that player advantage, and M80 are working with little. Double tap expires are here from Dante. Okay, Tinchoff has made things happen at A. This is going to pull them out, but look at M80. They want to meet them here at the cross. Wouldn't say they got the best weapons for the job.
Yeah, maybe meet them at the site instead. The site, a little more close range, might be somewhat better. Though they may also just take a nice little stroll into the waiting crosshair. Tinchoff!
Oh, no way!
Connection about the Ghost!
Right there.
I did see that vulnerability. But no follow-up here. Still no plant.
30 seconds
Back.
left.
Net is waiting over a B just in case that happens, but I think, yeah, All Knight's definitely committed here. Xander ping out backside. Dante knows he can sort of lean into this a little bit. 4 and 11 so far. Not in his map, that's for sure. Superior weaponry, though, goes a long way in net here. Well, not much to really be salvaging. He'll be happy to exit the round here and perishing. Maybe not giving an ult orb would be ideal.
Superior weaponry that should all be brought into the next round, unless there's some serious whiffing in our future, but Adverso would never. Never almost.
He gave it a good old college try. Yep.
But he retains the Guardian. So All Knights should have, all things considered, a very good buy here. A couple Bulldogs and the Guardian, sure, but Tinchoff will have a rifle as well. So, listen, if M80 could win their bonus, All Knights surely can too, though. They are lacking in the null command that Nismo was able to get up very early into their attacking half.
Not an option for them. That's what M80 get. Not bringing a duelist into the game. A heck of a lot of that double initiator, double controller util. Okay, well, we are playing up on pipes here. This is very far forward. Would it be ready to... Oh, my goodness! Well, the stars aligned for BCJ.
Deleted.
And now Net also has a feel for this timing through mid. Tinchoff eventually gets traded out. And very quickly, that's a round over. AK able to bring like a really healthy amount of guns into this one.
I have the spike.
And M80 would be very happy to walk out of this round with still 4 in their grasp. And there it is. Xander waits for Adverso.
I mean,
Full rebuy required for AK.
what can you even say about that? Just massive credit to BCJ. Hasn't had an all-timer performance on the prior maps, but on this one, 17 and 6. Where did that come from? When did he get all those? That's crazy. I mean, he just lines them up. 2 shots through the wall, all headshots connecting. And then credit as well to M80 for then after Net, takes that initial duel in mid, goes down, they triple swing immediately to trade for him. So they just handle everything well, but hey, listen, it's nice when your Gecko gets your little 2-man advantage, top of the round.
Dizzy sees nothing here, nor does the recon. Xander is happy to concede that ground. A real role player in this map. Hasn't been forced to take it over as an individual here. But Pink Savannah out here, only 1 player revealed here, so wonder what this sort of will indicate about potential rotations. It was a late 0 point, so normally teams buy into what that tells them to quite a degree. And so as the response, AK now filter in to join up with Sabando.
BCJ just trying to play this long angle, doesn't actually have any help tagged by the drone, and he has no option but to run, give up yellow in its entirety. But nope, he says, never mind, I'm going right back.
C. Johnson steps up to the plate.
And
Batter.
Better have my back up top.
Pinged out, that's dangerous here. Now getting looked at, hit with a vulnerable shot dart, right down through the Dizzy. Well, yeah.
And that's
He got hit. Yo, homeboy got hit with a twit
30
longer.
seconds
That's
left.
why that maneuver somewhat inadvisable.
And there is Net trying to see them come his way through mid. Tinchoff again has already settled into A. Found the front door unlocked. Now a 3-man retake here for M80. Just gun round, they sort of have to wait on for a bit. What do they got for us? This guy brought down there. Oh, okay. Interesting, with the fragment able to find Nico. Kwanum and Xander. Xander tries to find a juice
He
angle.
killed the planter. Wait,
That is ridiculous. I cannot believe M80 have gotten away with this.
Sauce. He killed the
That is
planter
so
with
wrong.
the nade. This is the second time there was
What?
a round that came down to time at the end that was just utterly, huh? He just, huh?
Come on!
He got
That
him with the
fragment
nade.
from Nismo, man. Oh, that is so devastating. Just as AK were, again, in a position to put some more rounds between them and M80 and also really pressure the economy down. Nismo is oh, man, he and Xander, they knew they had to hide, and it was close.
Spike
Oh,
down.
that has killed me so hard.
Yeah, and here go M80 again, just typical play towards A early on there, so aggro. Koala Noob always going to take advantage of the teleport to get forward, take some of those positions that maybe if you had a Jet up drafting, she could, but
Yep.
Omen does it just as well in those type of scenarios. Lockdown will get free access to the site for all nights, but this is where M80 thrive. These big A-set retakes are always fantastic from them.
Double tap, though, tough to deal with. Dante able to hold his ground there.
Over there.
Crashes in, found Dante. That should be an easy kill, but there's more to do here for M80. Obviously, they are still under the effect of that suppression for the time being. So Dizzy gives the edge here to M80. They try and get out behind the flash. Still 2v2. Tinchoff, again, abilities turned off. Nismo waiting for him. Nismo at 24, by the way. That is massive. 12-5 now. And M80 threatening an equalization of the series.
This is simply the Nismo takeover game. He is holding all of those angles. Just ready to fight, willing to fight.
Man, this is it. Well, I mean, Nismo, what a game to get in there. I mean, he killing the sort of planter, I think, in that previous round. Getting that fragment down. And now turning around here and just ripping that weapon about. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, me, also confused. It was just hoping you were gonna keep doing your thing there, and then I was gonna see what happens. All right, we're back. Koala noob, he's dead, Mitch.
Round 18. M80 already threatening to end the map here. Now, One Way buying a little bit of time, thanks to Xander, who again has been able to focus on his role of control over this map. Okay, good flash. Xander was there. VCT didn't quite find that connection.
It's you and
Nico
me.
down to 11 though. Here's a kill contract. It's C. Johnson again up to the plate. Dante handles him this time. Gets that refresh on the double tap and pops on out by Green. The spike's already headed elsewhere, and Dante now is with some aim labs. Netty's dangerous here in this position. Pinchot doesn't fully check it and gets brought down, and that Nico machine is so low. And Verso is trying to go for it, but it blows up in his face. Thrashto gets there. Detain, inflicted, but Xander's already on rafters.
Screen down.
He's in that site, sees Nico so low. Wingman gonna try and plant that for him. Xander in an awkward spot now. Needs Net to help him out, and he finds it. Net comes to the rescue just in time. Xander doesn't have the whole count this time around. And folks, we are heading to a decider map in our lower final.
And now it's on All Knights to bounce back mentally in the same way that M80 have. Going the distance. After the first two maps just being absolute blowouts, M80 in no way were in the game. They were mentally crushed. And now we're going to map 5, Abyss, where Dante is not going to be playing that Neon. The Neon that has brought All Knights all the way here. This is exactly what M80 need to win this series. That is the advantage that they need to capitalize on.
Got the wind at their backs now. Such a healthy map win for them. One in which they able to see Captain Nismo step up, take the game over to a great degree, get to show what he's capable of on that KO, and with some disgusting util usage on quite a few of those rounds, snowballing into so many of those null commands, be able to make it very tough for AK to get into the game. One more map. Only one of these teams, M80 or All Knights, can advance to have their final shot at ascending. And it all lands on the other side of this break. Don't go too far. Abyss is on the docket.